Hello, it's Jose, and this is my final exam. So to get to the questions, provide a very brief context or background to parental control and censorship in music in the 1980s, leading to the aforementioned debates. So, in the interview, I got the idea that the music at the time was considered like filth. Because of certain additions to the topics within the music, and as mentioned by the interviewer, Brandon, I think was his name. There was also discussions of if there is censorship towards music that has those messages, you could say, who would be the one to enforce restrictions on what people can view or listen to? Should it be an individual choosing or making the choice to purchase or listen to a certain music album, or should it be on the government to restrict what people can or can't listen to? So at the time, that was basically the climate regarding music in general. So question number 2, in what ways did Zappa frame censorship as a threat to democracy and individual liberty? Do you find his reasoning compelling? Why or why not? So from what he said, a lot was that music was just words. Even his music, because they were calling into question his music, but also Prince. There was a mention of Prince in there because of an incest related topic in his music video. But he basically just made the statement that they were just words. It's not like he's killing anyone, so to speak. It's just words. And another point he made would be that actually going into the route of censoring music would be, in his own words, a fascist theocracy. We would be going into America as a whole would be going into fascist theocracy, because it would be enforcing one set of moralistic ideals, I guess, i.e. Christianity, and that in and of itself really prohibits people to view what they want, listen to what they want, and it strips them of their freedoms. So in terms of question number 2, that's my response. Oh, do I find his reasons compelling? I really do. And yeah, in general, I do agree with what he said, because they really are just words. If you don't align yourself with what's in music, or a particular music piece, or if you don't really enjoy listening to it, you could just turn the other way and not play it at all. I do understand there's discussions of well, should people be listening to this overall, but I think it's important to know that people have freedoms. They can choose to do and listen to what they want, and that's what makes America America, I guess. So question number 3, what role should government play in regulating artistic content, if any? I think they should have a very limited presence in something like the music industry. A very limited presence. And presence as in, I'm going to give an example like, you know how in movies you see no people or animals were harmed in the making of this film or something like that. I believe restrictions like that like harm, like actually protect or inform people that were in the music video, and inform people that are viewing the material of what goes on in the music. I think I said that right. Hopefully that wasn't like all cluttered. But yeah, I think restrictions like that should be, or you know, something similar like that should be most prevalent, if any, restrictions should be the most prevalent in music and the industry. So how did Zappa and Lofton differ in their views on this? Well, I mentioned earlier that Zappa, he really made the point that they were just words, and that if, I'm pretty sure he was with the idea that if you don't want to listen to it, just turn it off, or you know. But Lofton, he made the conclusion that yeah, they might be just words, but they are an advocation of or an invitation to the happenings and the themes in the music, and that they should be censored for, because he's a father, they should be censored for, you know, the children and for other people's families. So question number 4, in what ways does this debate still resonate today in discussions about media, art, and censorship? Well, one example I can think of right now that is similar to this in terms of music would be like how like a couple years ago there was also like rumblings of I don't mean rumblings, just a set drama of how the artist, you know, Lil Nas X, he had satanic visuals in one of his music videos. So it sort of like correlates with what was happening in the interview that is at the topic of this exam. And it's crazy how that's still prevalent even today, almost like, well, yeah, like 40 to 50 years, going on 50. So in terms of music, that's what I can think of. In movies, TV shows, and films, I haven't really seen much like really discussions overall about Satanism, or even like subjects of like incest, how that was something that was in the interview. And in video games, I haven't really, I also haven't really seen any like recent drama, although even though I say that, I do think it's still prevalent, even with the idea, you know, the common idea that it's like, oh, video games cause violence, and you know, ideas like that. So overall, I do think it's very relevant with what I just mentioned, or how I just mentioned. So that was my exam. Thank you for listening.